Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about, and they're related. I was on TikTok and I came across this video that this young African-American woman had posted. And in her video, the sister basically asked, why would any black person in their right mind want to serve as a police officer? And she, of course, asked this question in the wake of the killing of Tyre Nichols. She asked this question in the historical context of the problem of police brutality. And she asked this question in light of the origin of the police. The police started off as slave catchers. So this is something that the sister was raising. We look at all these police brutality incidents, every other day we hear about another black person killed at the hands of these police. So I understand what this sister is talking about. And also, I recently read an article that Van Jones had posted. He's a commentator on CNN, and he also has served in the Obama administration. And this brother basically points out how even though you have black police officers and a black victim in this case of Tyre Nichols, it could still be a situation of racism. And so I want to talk about both of these issues because they're both related. So I understand what this sister is saying, and to further explain how I understand what this sister is saying, I want to elaborate on some points that Van Jones made in his article about black police officers and racism. The fact of the matter is, even if you have black folks in high places, even if you have black officers and you have diversity on police forces, if there are not structural changes to those police departments, they will continue to function in a racist way regardless of who serves in that capacity. So even somebody with the best of intentions, if their police department has policies that encourage or at least enable racial profiling and police brutality, it won't matter what those officers' good intentions are. It will still function. The police department as a whole will still function as an instrument of oppression. And that's what happens too often. So I hear what this sister is saying, and I hear what Van Jones is saying. And the other thing is this: even though somebody is black, they can still harbor anti-black racist views. They can still hate their own. They can still suffer from self-hatred. And we know this very well. Black people have been programmed, just like the rest of the society, to have prejudice towards our own people. We have been programmed to view ourselves as violent, to view ourselves as dysfunctional, to view blackness with criminality. So even black people have this mentality. And you hear some of these right-wing commentators, like your Jason Whitlocks and your Candace Owens, espousing anti-black views. So black people can be just as racist as white people when it comes to their own people. You got people like that shucking and jiving buffoon, Jesse Lee Peterson, another prime example of Uncle Ruckus. And some of these police officers had that Uncle Ruckus mentality. And as, the brother Van Jones pointed out in his article, citing NWA, the song Fuck the Police, this brother talks, cites the lyrics where it says black police showing out for the white cop. So you have black police officers that want to prove their loyalty to the blue, prove that they are more loyal to the badge and to the police than they are to their own people. Just like the overseer on the plantation who was eager to please Mr. Charlie, eager to please his slave master. There's a scene from Roots where Fiddler, even though Fiddler was a complex character, there's a part where he says something to the effect, "You want me to hit him, boss?" or something like that. That's the mentality of some of our people. Even all these years after slavery, all these years after Jim Crow, you still have people with the step it, fetch it, Uncle Ruckus, Sambo mentality. And some of these cops had that same mentality. Some of these cops are more vicious towards their own. And even though these are black officers, they can still harbor racist views again. I bet, as Reverend Al Sharpton pointed out, these same police wouldn't have treated Tyree Nichols this way if Tyree Nichols was white. There's no way in hell they would treat him like this. There's no way in hell they would have beat him all those times if he was a white man. So race can play a role. And I know that there are all these conspiracy theories on social media and stuff like that saying that this was personal. There's no proof of that. And until there's proof of that, I'm not going to add validity to that story. Because I think that those types of stories basically undermine the very important issue of racial profiling, of police brutality, of structural and institutional racism. So I won't even address that until we have actual facts on that. But anyhow, in light of all that, I understand what the sister is talking about. And I understand why she raises that question, but I have to respectfully disagree with her. I think that you do need to have black police officers. Because, the fact of the matter is we do actually need police. And I know that's not politically correct for me to say this, because I know that in this age of, these pseudo-woke folks, that believe that the police need to be abolished, that are all about, the slogan defund the police. And there's some validity to the slogan defund police. I could do a whole video just on that alone. So, I know that that's popular. That's popular rhetoric. But the fact of the matter is, in many black communities, the problem of violence is real. The problem of inner city violence is real. Places like here in Baltimore, where over 300 people are killed every year. Every year, over 300 people are killed every year. Despite all this rhetoric from these elected officials. And I believe that some of them probably mean well. They have the best of intentions, but they just don't have the skill set to make a difference when it comes to this violence. They give you all these plans to deal with the violence, but we still have the violence. And the same could be said in cities like Philadelphia, cities like Detroit. All these major cities with large black populations have an issue of violence plaguing them. We have an issue of a drug trade that's destroying our communities. So you do have an actual need for policing in communities, because the truth of the matter is there is no Hotep police force that's going to do community policing in any kind of real way. You can't call the Hotep police when somebody shoots your loved one. You can't call the Hotep police when somebody breaks in your house when you're in your house. So the fact of the matter is we actually do need the police. But we need the police departments to be fundamentally changed in a revolutionary way. And without black voices at that table, then that won't happen. That kind of change that we want to see won't happen. And being black alone is not enough. We need black progressives in these positions of power. Black progressives as police chief. Black progressives in these positions as sergeant and all these other ranks within police departments. People that have a genuine concern and love for the community and want to protect the community. That's why it's important that, you have police officers who are from those communities and who can identify with those communities, who know those communities. That's very important. But, just being black is not enough. We do need to have black people in those positions, because the fact of the matter is, as people have said many times before, if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. We can't rely on just white folks and other folks to patrol and control our communities. We need to have black people in there, but we need to have black people in there who love the people, who care about the people. And we need to have police departments that are fundamentally changed to address the problems of implicit bias, to address the problem of racial profiling and police brutality. And again, I keep stressing this over and over again. We need to have that George Floyd Justice in Policing Act passed. And we need to be pushing our members of Congress to pass that, our senators to pass that. And again, it's another prime example why these elections matter. But anyway, to answer the sister's questions, that's why we need to have black people on the police force. Black people that are concerned about the community. So those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. And before I close, I had a chance to listen to and watch segments of Tyree Nichols' funeral. And during the funeral, Reverend Al Sharpton gave a eulogy. And I know that you have a lot of people that hate on this brother, and I understand the skepticism and the questions and the criticism of this brother. But he was on point during this speech. And he talked about how those black officers were put in place as a result of civil rights workers like Martin Luther King Jr. fighting for black workers in public service. Black city workers when he came to Memphis. He fought so that they would have equal opportunity. And it's a shame that some of our people squander that opportunity by using that opportunity to oppress their own people. And that's exactly what these punk pig police did. And it's a damn shame. And I hope that they are punished to the fullest extent of the law. So with that, please rate, comment, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content on here. Peace and blessings. Have a great day.